No, this is not a repeat of yesterday. This is the current Bitcoin chart. Yes, okay, we've gone up slightly to $65,000 by now because Trump gave a speech that pumped the prices up a bit. By now, or at least briefly, you could even say up to $66,300, but we've fallen back again. Why? Because there are still geopolitical uncertainties. There are also one or two new pieces of news coming out of Japan. We're definitely going to take a look at all of that now, and with that, a warm or a wonderful good morning to everyone, and welcome to a new video. Yes, before we get started, as always, please give the video a like. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to join the free Telegram talk and Signal group as well. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join. You'll find the link for that down below in the video description, completely free, or in the comment section below. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, feel free to do so as well. Check out my partner exchange, WEEX. The link for that is also in the video description or in the comment section. At the moment, there are up to 11,500 USDT available, bonuses that you can claim. So yeah, Bitcoin at 65,000 US dollars, not much is really happening. So basically, we're still on our big downward path, which could happen faster than we'd like. Because yeah, what's on the agenda today? Nvidia is on the agenda today, and Nvidia could completely shake up the entire market. If the numbers are bad, then we've got a really big problem. And I've been saying this repeatedly over the past few days, especially with all the software stocks that are currently underwater, whether it's IBM or CrowdStrike. All software stocks have dropped by 10 to 15% or more in the past few days. Of course, this is partly due to the Trinity report, but also because of a new cloud update, meaning a new AI agent, which makes many things much easier, so you don't even need such companies for that. And this is affecting more and more areas, not just in the software sector, but many, many more areas across the entire stock markets. But the stock markets are still holding up for now. But as I said, all eyes are on Nvidia today. If they don't deliver, I can really imagine Bitcoin dropping down to around 54,000 US dollars. Or even lower, because then, in the end, everything really comes together. The stock markets are still holding up relatively well. The dollar has risen again. In my opinion, everyone is waiting. Everyone is waiting for today. And as I already mentioned in the intro, Japanese bond yields are rising. The yen swings on dovish signals. Bank of Japan nominations. Yesterday in the live stream, we took a closer look at it. So, to put it briefly, Takashi already spoke with Bank of Japan Governor Ueda yesterday. And we think, well, I don't know if it would be such a good idea if we raised interest rates over there now. And yes, of course, because you want to keep spending money endlessly. And you're the biggest US debt holder and a big friend of Donald Trump. I think that's a pretty good summary. And now apparently 2 dovish Bank of Japan members, so to speak, are being elected, or rather supported, which of course isn't so great again. And the direct consequence of that, we can see it immediately again in the 30-year bonds, for example, in Japan. They're surging significantly again. The 20-year bonds are surging and the 10-year bonds are surging as well. That means more uncertainty again, geopolitically, in terms of monetary policy, and also in Japan. It is still expected, even according to this article here from Bloomberg, that the chance of us getting an interest rate hike in Japan currently stands at least 60%. Now, everything will be decided by how this voting process here probably plays out and how much sugarcoating can still be done. I think that's a nice and friendly way to put it. But honestly, it's just a complete shit show over there now. And it's not just over there, that's how it is worldwide. Everywhere Trump has his finger in the pie, we're currently seeing more and more uncertainty. Then, as I said, the USA and Iran, we don't even need to get into that. Sooner or later, that topic will definitely come up again. Bitcoin, absolutely moving sideways. Just like the stock markets, the volume has completely dried up again, so even during the Asia session, we really haven't seen any increase in volume. So this whole spike that we got here up to the yearly pivot S1 at $66,000, which could also be seen as a negative retest, was once again without any volume. So the volume is still completely gone. We need fresh volume. We need significantly more, not just pump volume. We generally just need a lot more volatility in here because the market just currently feels like it's gold and silver. We'll get to those in a moment, are already rising again. Bitcoin sideways phase. Let's take a look at the heat map. We already did that yesterday. This is the 2-year heat map where the majority is still concentrated around $48,000 at the moment. But now let's go down one time frame, meaning to a 7-day time frame, just to see where there's a bit of short-term liquidity. Not much has really changed in that regard either. So you can still see the big chunk at $69,000 and at $61,000, $60,000, and $55,000. These down here, as I said yesterday in the stream, only come into play for me if we get some bad numbers or bad outlooks from Nvidia tonight. Still, this here is short-term and remains fragile. We're right in the middle again, just like we've been standing exactly between the liquidity for weeks now and nothing is happening. Let's quickly switch over to the order book just to check again how things are looking there. The volume is gone. The volume is completely dead. 10 million buy volume, 20 or 15 million sell volume. That's nothing. Nada, that's really nothing. Absolutely nothing going on. And because of that, prices could of course be manipulated upwards very quickly, only to give back exactly the same gains again. A quick green vector and immediately a sell-off again. That's nothing sustainable. I really hope that after the numbers come out tonight, we'll see significantly more volatility, or at least finally get a decision on direction. And as I said, if the numbers are negative, it could drop significantly. 54K wouldn't surprise me at all in order to, let's say, pave the way for our medium-term move upward until May. That's clear. It's a kind of timeline that I have in mind, but I can really imagine it happening. I explained that long enough in the live stream yesterday. What are the altcoins doing? Ethereum, here too we've seen the same peak, but just look at the volume. I already wrote about this in the Telegram group yesterday, that there are still any volume spikes showing up at all here. You really have to dig way down to see anything at all. So you have to go to a 1 hour time frame and zoom in just to see even a little bit of activity. This is completely useless, honestly. Completely useless. Solana, same story. Once again, just filling the vectors up here, no higher high. If this plays out the same way as always, then you know the drill. It will end up happening exactly like this. Just like always, liquidity is taken, inefficiency is filled, and then it goes back down. And now fill the next brick. It can't always just go down, that's obvious, because we also need liquidity from above, since we always have to liquidate something in order to pave the way further down. That's how the game works. All right, let's move over to the dollar. The dollar is stable. USD JPY, yeah, now again, because of the news, no clear direction, so also stable. Everything is on hold and the uncertainty is high no matter what. I think we don't need to discuss all these topics anymore now. Gold continues to rise. And yesterday I already put forward this thesis a bit, or rather I've been mentioning it again and again over the past few weeks. As long as gold hasn't topped out, gold, silver, commodities, etc., as long as they haven't topped out, for me, no bottom formation is visible in Bitcoin. If they top out and then also start to fall, and then the crypto stocks, equity stocks, everything falls, then we might be able to talk about a bottom. But gold is rising due to geopolitical uncertainties. Oil is rising due to geopolitical uncertainties, and we probably won't get an interest rate cut until July. That means at the moment there is absolutely nothing to suggest that we're about to see a full-on bull run, that the stock markets are going to explode. There is nothing pointing to that right now. Then there are all these software stocks which have just brought even more uncertainty, like AI agents and so on. Sorry guys, I can't give you anything bullish at the moment. That's a big problem for me, but I can't change it. DAX index down. Dow Jones stable. Nasdaq stable. S&P 500 stable. I don't think we'll still see them this stable by tonight. The volume is gone. We can just draw a completely normal straight line here again. That's about the average. You can see for yourselves there's no volume in there at the moment, not even in the stock markets anymore. And that's even though you have to, I said it yesterday too, you have to be glad that the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and all the others are still holding up like this. We have Google to thank for that, and we have Nvidia to thank for that, because the rest, Meta is down, Microsoft is down 30%, and PayPal is completely down anyway. Down as far as it can go, Coinbase down, everything is down. Only Google and Nvidia aren't. Now you might understand why these two stocks are so important for the stock market at the moment. And that could change this evening. And government bonds in the US remain unchanged as well. And the yen, by the way, is also unchanged. In my opinion, in the end, they have to intervene, sell debt, buy yen, just to somehow save their own currency. Problems upon problems. But as long as there's still fuel for the bull run, everything's just peachy, right, friends? Just kidding. Yeah, no, that's it from my side for now. Like I said, we have to wait and see what happens this evening. Bitcoin is completely in no man's land, neither long nor short. I wouldn't really recommend anything at the moment. Take care of yourselves, buy the dip. At some point, maybe over the next few days, a good opportunity could present itself. And otherwise, I'd say that's it from my side. Thank you very much for watching. Even if there weren't really a lot of new updates this time, but sometimes I just can't help you directly or just give you hope. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk again tomorrow. Until then, ciao, ciao, and as always.